courageous leaders. So please, if you're thinking about a question or have been journeying through something over this series and you haven't felt like you've had the opportunity to ask that or it's been answered, please use tonight to ask that question of someone as well. And of course in packs we can go through that a little bit more. Excuse me. Good to go. Awesome. Good. Okay guys, welcome to our final week of our Leap of Faith series. We are doing all things goal orientated and your dreams. So tonight in our goal show, we have 3 lovely contestants. Yay! We have Keely, a professional donut maker. Contestant number 2, Josh, believes he is electrifying. And contestant number 3 can't wait to dig up the important stuff. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys, on our game show where we're going to be talking to you guys all about dreams and aspirations. So let's just see if we can check their buzzers. 3, 2,
Josh.
1.
Chili bags.
Josh false started, so he's but we've got the buzzers ready. So for the first question, I would like one of you to buzz in with your answer. And it is, if you had one tip for everyone in the room and everyone watching online for goal setting, what would it be?
Josh.
Josh, please answer the question.
If you're not very familiar with goal setting or you're not sure what your major goal in life is going to be, start small. Start very small. Just do weekly goals. Set yourself a little challenge. Write them down, and just keep them achievable. Just to give yourself that build up for the big goal. So.
Great answer. Who would be going to Josh to find out more about goals?
Maybe.
Well done. Keely, what would your tip be?
I'd probably say take it one step at a time. And even if that step is small, at least you're moving forward.
Fantastic. Dax, what's your one tip?
Motivation. If you don't have motivation, you ain't going anywhere.
Digging it right up. Well done. Okay, Keely, I'm going to ask you this one without a buzzer. What is something that you do or a process that you take every day that helps you towards your goal?
I think it's mainly my resilience to bounce back from certain things that prevent me from doing my goal. So if things are knocking me down, I sort of say to myself, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm still going to keep moving forward. And if it's stopping me, then I'm just going to walk around it, go through it, push it out of the way and just keep going.
Very well answered. Bex.
Yep.
Process that you go through or something you do every day towards your goal?
Towards my goal. Probably break down the goal into easier tasks that I can accomplish. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Yeah. Good. Thanks, guys. This is cool. Next question, Josh, I'd like you to answer first. How's your buzzer going? Just checking.
Josh.
A bit too late there.
Let's see how we go with this.
Still a bit of adding to it.
Do you think it's important to assess where you are at before setting goals?
100%.
Why?
I think if you expect to get somewhere and you're a lot further behind than where you think you're at, then you've got a lot more ground to cover. So if you're not sure where you're at, you don't know where your starting point is, so you don't know what the next step is.
Right, let's go. Good job. Bex.
I stole mine.
You did buzz in quite slowly at first.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. If you don't even know where you're starting, how are you going to move to the next steps if you don't even know where the start is? So just taking also personal reflection to see if you're mentally prepared as well, I find is good too.
Yeah, good, awesome. Keely, how do you visualise your goal?
I sort of see it as a race, sort of, but it's in my own time. So it could be, 100 metres, 48 kilometres, but no matter what, I'm still going to get there. And I can see it no matter how far away it is.
That was good,
Like
guys.
there.
Josh.
I suppose for me, it's for my personal goals. I like to see what it could look like. So I watch videos of other people doing that, or seeing of what I could possibly do. So for me, it's actually physically watching something and going, I want that. So.
Dex.
So I'm kind of like Keely. I like to visualize. Like one of my goals at the moment is I want to save for a house. So I can picture a house, and that's how I'm going to get there.
Good. It's really good. All right, whoever buzzes in first for this one. Have you ever had a goal and failed? And how did that make you feel?
A lot of delayed buses.
We're just gonna have some thinking music. Well done, Keely.
So I'm not going to share with you what the goal was, but I remember sitting down and thinking to myself, this is my goal, I'm going to do it. And I remember sort of thinking that I was taking the right steps and everything, and the final outcome wasn't what I hoped for, and it made me feel really terrible because I was like, why didn't I do that thing? Like I had this perfect vision of like how I was going to get there and what I was going to do and the people that I was going to use to help me. I didn't get there, so I set a new goal. But it was of the similar sort of category, just with a different approach. So obviously the last one didn't really work out, and I went to a different approach and I sort of made it work.
So you reassessed the goal from where you were now at and then took the steps to further that goal. Awesome, thank you. Anyone else?
Thanks. So I remember setting a goal when I was going through year 12 that I needed to reach this ATAR. Didn't end up getting that ATAR, and it was pretty earth-shattering for me because I tried so hard and I thought I was going where I wanted to go. Turns out I didn't. So I kind of had a bit of a cry, but Mum sat me down and she was like, you know, there are other options to get into what you want to do. So once I'd seen that, I was like, okay, this is how my goal's going to go, and I eventually did it, and yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Josh, did you have one?
Yeah, mine's probably a little bit different because I never really set goals when I was younger. I never had something that I wanted to achieve, but I think the feeling that I got out of that was always feeling like I was behind the eight ball, feeling like I was always one step behind everyone else because I didn't have a direction, I didn't have somewhere that I was going or knew what I wanted to do. I always felt like I was lacking in that aspect.
So you almost felt like you'd already failed because you hadn't set goals?
Because I had no idea.
It's pretty powerful. How many of you guys feel like that at times when you're a little bit lost as to how you're going to set a goal, or you might not have one? Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Thanks, guys. It's really, really cool for you guys to share that. Who can tell me what a SMART goal is? Anyone in the audience? What does S stand for in SMART?
Strategize.
Itchy cheated.
Specific. I heard some whispers. So S is for specific. What's measurable? Achievable. Achievable or obtainable. There is two different versions to that one. What is R?
Realistic.
Awesome. What's the last one?
Achievement.
T for timing.
Wait, why did I think it was an A?
Awesome. So
We are Sparta!
now that we've refreshed that for our contestants, please buzz in and tell me, how do you set SMART goals? There's a balloon up for grabs for the first person. Come on, guys. Gotta entice these contestants. It's all they have. How do you set SMART goals? Specific, measurable, obtainable.
Sure.
Josh.
I think it's about sitting down, taking some time and just going, okay, knowing what you want, you got to be specific, as SMART says. You really got to have a clear picture of what it is that you want to achieve. writing it down so you remember what it is, knowing why you want to do it, why do you want to achieve that goal. You know, you're going to have a reason, you're going to have motivation. When you come against a blocker or something that's going to prevent you from achieving a goal, what's going to motivate you to overcome that blocker, what's going to push you forwards. I think it's about just, being really passionate, writing it down and just reminding yourself every day that this is what I want and this is why I want it. So.
Fantastic. Thanks, Josh. Anyone else?
Keely. I think when I set a goal, I think to myself, can I actually do this? And if it's something within my reach, and how I'm going to get there, and finding the right tools or resources to actually get there. I think realising your potential and then realising how far you can be stretched, and then just going for your goal and getting people around you that can actually help you.
Fantastic. I've got a secondary question for you, Keely, about that. If you have a goal that you feel like is maybe unobtainable yet, how would you break it down to then get a little bit more specific and create that as a SMART goal for further down the track?
I'd break it down into almost sort of mini goals. So it's not a bigger, so it's not like the whole picture, it's like the tiny aspect of the picture, and focusing on that tiny aspect before focusing on the whole thing, and focusing on each little bit at a time, and eventually getting there, I guess.
Awesome, thank you. Good. Does anyone in the audience have a question they would like to ask of any of our contestants?
Have any of your goals that you've set, have any of your goals that you've set radically changed, and why?
Is this for anyone or specifically to a contestant?
Anyone.
Thanks. So, as some of you know, I'm an archaeologist as well as an early childhood educator. At this stage in my life, I thought I'd be in the process of doing my master's in archaeology. But when I did my early childhood course, I realised study was taking a massive toll on me, and I needed to just take a step back from my study. So for me, gaining my master's, that's still one of my goals. It's just going to take me a little longer to get there. So that goal's kind of dramatically changed for me.
Josh? My goals probably changed a lot, even over the last probably 12 months, I'd say. I'm going to change that. What changes my goals so radically is, I suppose, different opportunities. And then when different opportunities arise, I have to reevaluate, do I really want to go this way, or do I want this thing that's presented in front of me? Do I want to take this direction or that direction? It's sort of swayed my views, learning new information, obviously. Okay, this isn't what I thought it was 12 months ago. I don't really want to do that anymore. So I change again. So I've got a pretty good habit of doing that.
So that's actually a really interesting thing that you shared there, Josh, because I think for everyone at different times we can be in different spaces, and our goals will change with where we're at and what direction we want to take in life. So that's awesome. Thank you.
I have a question. I really have a question.
There's a question down the back.
How did we know?
Whispering in the background.
What's, for anyone, what's a goal that you've achieved that you're super proud of?
X. My archaeology. That was a bit of a struggle because university is quite different, and going into that, I thought first year I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? Why am I here? But I kept pushing myself and I kept pushing myself. So the day I walked up on stage and I received that certificate, I was so proud. I got it. I did it. So.
Can all of them answer? Please.
Buzz, Josh, go.
I guess I had three pretty major goals I had for a while, but it wasn't until the last, I think it was about 8 months, that I sort of achieved all three. The first one was getting my pilot's license, so I've been working for that for 2 years, and I was stoked to finally get that one. I haven't crashed yet, so that's always good. The second one was moving out of home, so finally moved out of home this year, and it's great. So. And the third one was getting my A grades. Obviously, I've been doing my apprenticeship for the last 4 years, and finally finished that. Well, finished the last exam at the start of this year, and finished the paperwork. So.
And your awesome girlfriend.
Fantastic, Josh. Really great.
What did you say?
Girlfriend.
And the awesome girl.
So one of my biggest sort of goals last year was, it sounds so small, but for me then it was like the biggest thing that I could have achieved. So I took chemistry last year as a VCE student. I thought I could science, but I can't at all.
Relatable.
But I was getting really low results in my SACs, and it was really bringing me down. I just thought I couldn't do it at all. So I set myself a goal of actually passing the unit, and it took so long, like every day, like I was doing hours and hours of chemistry homework, crying into a textbook because I couldn't do it, and eventually I could, and I got the pass for chemistry. And then I dropped it.
And something I just want to bring to everyone's attention is, Keely, you just said something there, and I just want to challenge that in you, but also in everyone else. No goal or dream of yours is small. If you want something or you have a desire, it's not small. Don't belittle it, because that already sets you up to fail. The moment you decide that your goal is small or worthless or your dream doesn't matter, you're already making it harder for yourself. So well done for achieving that, because I know that was really hard for you. But make sure when you're setting your goals, you're setting it with the idea that you're actually going to achieve it, not that it's too hard or not big enough. The next question is, how do you overcome procrastination? Next.
This question.
Oh, okay.
Very.
So, while I was studying, procrastination was like my best friend. But I found that if I left like essays or whatever to the last moment, I'd be having massive panic attacks thinking, I can't do this, like I haven't sorted out my time. So the next time I had an essay due, I would sit down and be like, okay, you need to focus. As much as it's great to watch a TV show or whatever, this actually is going to affect my life. I need to do this. So just re-establishing the importance of your activity is probably better in the long run.
For me, I think we procrastinate, obviously, because we don't really do anything. But for me, like, motivation is such a big thing, and I just used how well other people were doing and how well other people are going and seeing where they're going, and I'm sort of just, back here like, yeah, not going to do anything. And using that to be like, I need to do something, I need to achieve it. If it's not at the same level that they're achieving it, I just need to start and I just need to go, pretty much. I guess that's how I think.
Josh, would you like to give a male perspective of procrastination?
There's a lot of it.
Help me.
There is a lot of it. Probably spent the first 18 years of my life procrastinating. Don't think I ever studied for school.
Is that all?
I was just winging it. So I suppose the biggest thing for me was I reached a point where I had to wrestle with myself. I had to have a nice little argument to and fro in my head of what kind of life I wanted to have, whether or not I wanted to live the best life that I could possibly give myself, or if I wanted to just settle for a normal, boring, straight down the line job life. that wasn't what I wanted to do. So yeah, I guess that was the biggest thing for me, was just the realisation that I have to decide what kind of life I want to have.
Do you find being a born procrastinator that you still struggle with that?
Oh yeah.
What sort of strategies do you now use, now that you've got a better direction but still struggle with that?
A lot of it comes down to if you don't do, how do I put this into words? A lot of it is motivation by, if you don't do it, you're going to lose what you've got. So that sense of loss, I suppose, plays a big part into it, because I've got myself this far, but if I don't keep pushing, then I'm going to end up back where I started. So that constant reminder that you got to keep going, that you got to, you know, you've chose to have a certain life. I've chose to have a certain life. I've chose to, you know, achieve the things that I have, but I can quite easily just throw them all away. So.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Josh. I think that's really good information. And I think we can definitely all apply that to when we feel like our dreams or goals need to be readjusted due to procrastination. Alright, this one is, I want you guys to think about this a little bit more, because there's a little bit more to it. In what areas of your life do you think goals are important? So we might set a goal that is like a what goal, is, you know, like a financial or a business or a career orientated goal, and a why goal is a little bit more about personal growth. And of course your how goals are usually something you specifically want to do, like a sporting thing or something with school. How do you guys journey through how to set different goals for different areas, and what do you feel is more important for you personally to set? Thinking music. That's my head. Josh.
No, I was just going to ask, can I have what the different goals were?
Yeah. So I'll just repeat that. So the what goals are like business goals, career goals, or financial goals. So it might be like a budgeting goal or something like that, or what do you want to do as a job. A why goal more relates to yourself and your relationships, so like a personal growth or a relationship goal. And a how goal is something and a how goal is something that is like a sports orientated or a subject orientated, or something that you actually want to do, like a sporting event or something like that.
I don't even know how to answer that question.
Let's break it down. Let's go with a why goal versus a what goal. So a why goal is like a personal growth goal, and a what goal is something tangible, like something you might want to do as a career. For you personally, what do you feel is more important to set first, and how do you set two goals at once? Maybe like you might be going for a specific job, and you might also need to do some personal growth to be able to achieve that job. So how do you set two different goals and go in a sort of a similar direction?
I think, well, Josh.
Nearly lost points.
I think for me, anyway, it's almost that the way you described that to me was almost like you have a goal that you want to achieve or something that you want to do, and then it's almost like a breaking down of the steps of how you're going to get there, and then you set those sub goals in between. So you almost have to find what your goal is, whether it be a personal how or a what goal, and then it's almost like dividing it into sections of, okay, so to achieve this how goal, what why goals or what goals do I need in order to get there? Just that.
Yeah, definitely. Did that make sense to everyone else? You sort of got to really segment it to work out how to put it together and do that all at once.
Personally, I don't think one's more important than the other. I think it's what you want to achieve, and then it's just a matter of breaking it down into what other aspects do you need to look at in order to get there.
Fantastic. One more question from the room.
Are there any goals you regret doing?
That's what I was going to ask.
So anyone?
That's a good question. Keely.
Personally, there aren't any that I have regretted setting and doing, because I feel like when I set goals, I set them for a reason. And if they don't quite work out how I wanted them to, or if I get to a place that I don't want to be at the end of it, I feel like you learn from it. You learn that I've set this goal to go in this direction, and then you kind of get there and you're like, nope, and you don't go backwards, but you just swerve. You set a different goal to a place that you think you want to be at, or for something that you want to do. So I think it's a real learning experience, setting goals, and you'll get to know yourself better by the goals that you set.
Very well answered. Would anyone else like to add?
Bex. I don't so much regret the goals, but sometimes I regret putting so much effort in a goal that doesn't end up really working out sometimes, and I realise that it's maybe because I'm going too hard for the goal, and I need to just take a step back, reassess where this goal is going, and if I'm putting way too much time to something that's not actually going to really maybe work out as well, that's what I regret, is sometimes putting too much effort into it and just missing the goal completely. And yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you so much for playing along tonight, guys. Well done. You've been it can take a lot of courage to get up here in front of you all when you're prepared. When the three people who are answering the questions don't know what the questions are going to be, it takes a lot more courage to be able to share. So thank you so much, guys, because I know some of the stuff you were sharing was really personal. And as we go into PAX tonight, guys, let's all go to that next level. Let's really, as groups, work towards how can we help each other with what our goals and aspirations are.
Three, two, one, it's jam.
I have a public service announcement. Just letting you know that next Monday will not be BB, as it is Her Majesty's birthday. Okay, it's a long weekend. So guys, you know, we have a WABAB session, first Monday night of every month. It is your chance to become part of our amazing team at BB. The chances that you get are you can tag along to all our events, you get a cool t-shirt, even a black special lanyard with your name on it. Heaps of cool rad ideas you can get. By also becoming a member, you can join our events like we had last weekend, such as the Tin Rattle, or even an up-and-coming Run for the Young. The only way you can become eligible for this, to become a member, is if you've attended Monday night 4 times. So, if this applies for you, you can come on down at BB at 6 PM on the first Monday of every month.
Hey guys, don't forget to download our Bridge Builders app on your iPhone or Android. You can see all of our amazing events and you guys can click going and you can see what's to come in the future. So get on that and I hope you enjoy. So we're still doing our 5-cent campaign, guys. We're aiming to raise 1 million 5-cent pieces. We're currently at around 43,000, so keep looking, keep hunting for those 5-cent pieces. Loving your work. So we also have our BB's Got Talent coming up. Entries are open now and you need to contact Paris by the 1st of July for your entry. I hope you all get out your magic tricks, get out your singing voices and have an awesome night. Woo!
Just make sure that next week you don't come to BB as it's a public holiday and no one's going to be around. Sorry.